Welcome back, Rich Minds. It's your boy Reno coming back to you with another video. And today's topic is gonna be how I made my first $10,000. Okay, now let me go ahead and get into this video, y'all. But before we do so, I gotta make some announcements, y'all. Okay, so I'm aware that I have not been on this channel for probably about 3 weeks to about a month, okay? However, I'm coming back, y'all. It's gonna be very much more consistent. However, I'm managing so many other different channels, so it's kind of difficult, y'all, to post on all of these channels, okay? However, I'm gonna make sure that I stay very consistent on this channel as well, because I owe y'all that. And so, for those who are coming from my Reno Speaks Riches page, where I'm talking about spirituality, chosen ones, and stuff like that, y'all, self-improvement. Well, I know it's people over here who want to know about, how to make money or entrepreneurship, the beginning stages of entrepreneurship. So I felt like this video was an important video because when it comes to entrepreneurship, y'all, you need somebody who has actually been on that road to where you're headed, okay? And so that's why I felt that this video is very important, okay? So again, y'all, how I made my first $10,000, we're gonna go ahead and get directly into it. But before we do so, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to my channel. Yes, sir. So the first way I made my first $10,000, y'all, is gonna be this, family. I invested into myself, all right? Let me say it louder for my entrepreneurs in the back. Listen, family, I invested into myself, all right? So I'm going to tell you how I invested into myself, and then, I'll throw some suggestions for yourself. But for me, how I invested into myself was, of course, y'all, I listened to podcasts, I read more books, YouTube. Okay, I can't stress enough, y'all, how important YouTube is. YouTube University is a real thing, okay? I paid for courses, all right? I paid for books. I paid for information, all right? And of course, y'all, you will get bamboozled sometimes. It is what it is, y'all. That's just all a part of the game. Some people are not going to keep it honest with you. I'm going to make sure I keep it honest with you at all costs. You will get bamboozled sometime. Now, if you have a mentor or a coach or someone who can kind of guide you, similar to myself, then, it's a little different. But when it comes to me, y'all, I have been bamboozled over certain information. Some stuff was not, 100% true. Some things was overpriced, etc., etc. But sticking to the point, y'all, I invested into myself. And so the main thing that I did was I learned how to become a self-published author, right? And so once I did that, y'all, it allowed me to write my first book and, of course, publish my first book all on my own. And so I purchased copies of my own book, right? That was Fairly Unequal, okay? I'll drop that link inside the description so y'all can check it out if you would like. It took me about 3 years to write that book, not because that's how long it actually took me, but because I used productive procrastination, which means, I took time off from it, then I worked on it. Took time off from it, then worked on it, okay? And on top of that, I was in college, so I was juggling a lot of different other things. But anyway, I ended up publishing the book in the year of 2019. I want to say 2019, right? And so 2019 or 2020, okay? One of those. But anyway, I got 500 copies of that book, all right? And I sold them all at $20, per book. But I invested into book stands. I invested into marketing. I invested into digital marketing. I invested, into billboards. I invested into so many other different things. And you're probably thinking, well, Reno, how did you invest into billboards? Well, this was during the time of the pandemic. And so we all had the stimulus check. And so I took my stimulus check and I invested into myself, right? I think I had $1,200, $1,600, somewhere around there. And I invested into me. I did not, want to take that money and spend it on unnecessary things. So I invested into myself. And so with that being said, y'all, I purchased a billboard for $400. At that time, it was the cheapest billboard in the city. Well, it was actually in Conyers, so it wasn't in the city, but it was very cheap. Right? So you're probably not going to catch a billboard for $400. If I'm being 100% honest, y'all, not no more. You'll get it for $1,000 per month, but you probably won't get it for $400. I can almost assure you of that. So it was during the time of the pandemic and these businesses needed the money. So anyway, I invested into myself, y'all. I said, you know what? If I get 500 copies of this one book, I can sell this book $20 per copy. Bam, there go my $10,000 right there, right? See, money, y'all, it is a matter of numbers and time, right? Money is a matter of numbers and time. So if you make this much, okay, in this amount of time, that's the difference in between you being rich and the difference in between you being poor. All right. If you sell this amount of products at this rate or at this price, that's the difference between you making a little bit of money and a lot of money. OK, volume. All right. Somebody drop in the comments and say volume. That's what it's all about, y'all. It's about your volume. All right. If you sell a pen for $1, well, you sold one pen for $1. But if you sell 10,000 pens for $1, well, you sold 10,000 pens for $1, which gave you $10,000. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Again, money is only a numbers game, okay? Make sure y'all drop that in the comments as well. It's a numbers game, all right? But sticking to the point, y'all, I invested into myself. I invested into my books, and I took a chance on me. And I said, I can do this. If I can sell somebody else's product, if I can sell, candy, if I can sell this, or if they can sell, better yet, if they can sell something to me, why can't I sell something to somebody else? Right? It's just a mindset shift, y'all. It's a paradigm shift, all right? But anyway, I invested into myself, and then, months later, I made my first $10,000, right? Number two, I mastered making $1,000 first. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder for my entrepreneurs in the back. Listen, family, I mastered making $1,000 first. So here's the thing, y'all. Everybody want to wake up and say, I'm going to be the millionaire in my family. I want to be a millionaire. I'm going to make $1 billion. That's a great plan, and I love your ambition. I really, really, really do, okay? I need y'all to understand something. It is more than just saying, I'm going to make $1 million. I'm going to make 100,000. I'm going to make $1 billion, right? It's just so much more to saying it. You actually have to do it, right? Y'all forgot about that part, huh? You actually have to do it. And so what I realized was, I said, you know what? I do want to make $10,000, right? I need to learn how to master how to make $1,000 first, okay? And so what I did was I purchased 50 books or 50 copies of my book first. That was the first thing that I ever did, okay? Let me make that clear. That was the first thing that I ever did. I purchased 50 copies of my book, and I sold them at $20 per copy. And so with that being said, when you have 50 copies of a book or 50 copies of whatever, right? 50 duplicates of whatever. If you sell it at $20, okay, well, you just got yourself $1,000. You just made yourself $1,000. How was that? What did you do? Well, you took 50 copies of a book, you took 50 shirts, you took 50 whatever, and sold them at $20. But see, how you master it is doing it over and over and over again. All right? Somebody drop in the comments and say consistency. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say consistency, because that is what it takes. It takes consistency. All right? It takes you doing this thing over and over and over to where now you understand how to at least make 1,000. Okay? You at least have to know how to make 1,000 if you're talking about making $10,000. It just makes sense. It's realistic. Okay? But anyway, y'all, if you think of it like this, a drug dealer, right? And this may be the worst analogy because I don't sell drugs. I hope that you're not selling drugs, but hey, this is a video, okay? But anyway, the drug dealer, he's not gonna front somebody, $10,000 worth of cocaine or $10,000 worth of drugs if they haven't, mastered making $1,000. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Like, you can't say, oh, I'm gonna make $20,000 and you terrible at making $200. So again, you got to master making $1,000, or that's what I did. I mastered making $1,000 first. So when that became easy to me, then I say, you know what? Let's up the score. And then again, y'all, later down the line, made my first $10,000 simply because I mastered making $1,000 first. All right, makes sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know if it makes sense. Moving on to the next one, family. Number 3. I zeroed in on the primary focus, all right? Let me say it louder for my entrepreneurs in the back. Listen, family, I zeroed in on the primary focus, all right? And so that simply means that, what was it that I wanted to do and what was I looking for results from? I get it. It was the books, okay? I said that, hey, man, if I can sell my books, if I can sell 500 copies, of my books for $20, I can make $10,000. I mean, I get it. Some people may say, hey, you want to do high ticket sales. You want to have a product or a service for $1,000 and sell it to 10 people. I get that. But I wasn't at that point yet, right? See, that's why I make these type of videos, because everybody is not at the point to where, hey, I have $1,000 product or service. You don't know how to sell it. Maybe you're not comfortable enough to sell it. And so I was in that same spot, y'all. I was in a spot to where I did not, feel comfortable selling somebody a product for $1,000. I was not comfortable selling someone, a service for $1,000. But what I was comfortable with was selling my book for $20, because I believed in me that much, all right? I believed in myself that much. And so with that being said, I zeroed in on the primary focus. Okay, books, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And so for yourself, y'all, same thing. If you're trying to be a YouTuber, well, you need to zero in on being a YouTuber. If you're trying to be a self-published author, then you need to zero in on being a self-published author. You can't be scattered out all over the place. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I'm going to play God's advocate on that. Now, I never said that you can't be a serial entrepreneur once you have one business flying. I didn't say that, okay? So once you put your focus on one thing and it has grew a life of its own, that's different. But when you put your focus on every other thing and they still are babies, you haven't had the time to nurture it, you haven't had the time to nourish it. Listen, you got to put your focus on one thing, okay? And then allow that to grow. And now guess what? You can move on to the next thing. Well, at least that's what I did for me, y'all. So I zeroed in on the primary focus. So for instance, y'all, with my YouTube channel, Reno Speaks Riches, okay? That channel, once again, I'm speaking about chosen ones. I'm speaking about, success. I'm speaking about, God, spirituality, self-improvement, the whole nine, y'all. And so on that particular channel, I actually grew that, in about a year's time. If I don't post on that channel ever again, y'all, I will make money off that channel for the rest of my life. If I don't post on that channel, I will always make money from that channel for the rest of my life. Well, I have created digital assets, all right? Let me say it once again, y'all. I have created digital assets, okay? You have to follow what I'm saying, y'all. You have to follow what I'm saying. So all I'm simply saying is this right here, y'all. When it comes to zeroing in on my YouTube channels, or if you zeroing in on your YouTube channels, build one first. All right, build one first and allow it to grow wings in a life of its own. Then you can move to your next YouTube channel. Then you can move into your next business venture. Then you can move into your next project. Y'all follow what I'm saying? Zero in on the primary focus. And that's how you're going to be able to make your first $10,000. All right? Not by being scattered out. Okay? Make sense, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know if it made sense. And so the last thing I would like to add to that, y'all, is this right here. When I zeroed in on the primary focus when it comes to my books, I had to do location scouting, right? Which means I had to look at different areas, okay, to sell my books, right? Because I can have books, I can have a whole bunch of inventory, but it won't make me rich. I can have 1 million books, y'all, but it will not make me rich if I don't sell it, if I don't get it in front of people. So I had to do location scouting. I was looking at different locations, and that's when I found Slutty Vegan, y'all. Okay, that is when I found Slutty Vegan. And actually, y'all, to be quite honest with you, it was a good friend of mine, right, who told me, he said, man, Reno, it's this spot called Slutty Vegan. Pinky will let you come out in front of her stores, bro. Just come out. And so from right there, that is what gave me that special sauce, okay? It gave me the special sauce to prop up, okay? To prop up and put my books in front of people where people were already spending money. See, the best time to get a person to spend money is when they're already spending it, right? So right after or right before, when that was going to Slutty Vegan, people would come to my table, get my book, $20. Thank you so much. Next person, okay? And that's how you make more money. You do it in quantity, okay? You make money in quantity. Of course, give out a quality product, but you need it in quantity, all right? But Sticking to the point, y'all, I zeroed in on the primary focus. Moving on to the next one, y'all, number 4. You have to figure out who have your money. So that's what I did, y'all. I figured out who had my money. So I had to understand my demographic. And so my demographic was women who was about 35 to 45 years of age. That was my sweet spot. Black women, 35 to 45 years of age. That was my sweet spot, okay? And so how I figured out what my sweet spot was is when every time I spoke to ladies like that and I talked to them about what I was doing, they was already reaching into their pocket, right? For some reason, that was my avatar. That's who buy from me. Women in the ages of 35 to 45 years old, right? Now, this is not to say that you're not going to get sales from other people, because I have gotten sales from white people. I have gotten sales from younger people. I have gotten sales from just different walks of life, y'all. However, my sweet spot were women in between the ages of 35 and 45, black women, right? They always going in their pocket. I tell them my pitch, they going directly in their pocket or their purse. That's how I figured out, oh, they have my money. So I need to talk to these type of people. I need to be speaking to these type of people. See, the problem is, y'all, you're trying to talk to everybody else. You're trying to talk to everybody else, but who is willing to buy or purchase from you, okay? Y'all follow what I'm saying? You have to understand who your avatar is. You have to understand who you're selling to. And so that's what I did, y'all. I figured out who had my money. Simple as that, y'all. And also, I want to drop another gem. I read that in Grant Cardone's book, okay? I'm not trying to promote it for any, affiliate. I'm just letting y'all know where I got this game from. Grant Cardone, he has a book called The Millionaire Booklet, and I read that, and he says you got to figure out who have your money, okay? Simple as that, y'all. And so we're going to get to the next one, y'all, which is the last one. Number 5, y'all, I grinded like it was no tomorrow. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder for my entrepreneurs in the back. Listen, family, I grinded like it was no tomorrow, all right? Which means I got up every day. I went out there with my backpack, with my table. I was even selling snacks too, y'all, right? Just like, when you go to Walmart and when you go to a 7-Eleven, when you go in there and buy something that you actually want, and then when you get closer to the register, then you see like the snacks. I set my table up just like that, y'all, okay? But I went out there every day and I sold my books, right? And in less than 50 days, about 40 days, I made $10,000. So with that being said, I made that money in about a month and a half, y'all. Okay, so that's approximately maybe $7,000 in 1 month, and then about $3,000 in the next, somewhere around there, y'all. But the point is, I still made it. Okay, the average person is not making $7,000 in a month. The average person is probably making about $2,500 to about $4,000 in a month. On average, okay? And a lot of people not making $4,000 a month. It's sad, y'all, but that's the true reality. So with that being said, I took my 500 copies and I did this in the summer, y'all. So it's 2 months in the summer. I did this in the summer, y'all, and I went out there and sold my books every single day because I knew that it was people going inside that store. I knew it was people who wanted a slutty vegan hamburger. I knew they wanted it. So I was out there every day, okay? I'll be out there, from 12 to about 7 o'clock, right? Prime time, baby. Prime time. And then on the nights where it was, like, booming, like on the weekend, I stayed out there till about 10 p.m., okay? Because it was so many people out there wanting slutty vegan. And so what I'm saying is, y'all, that's how I made my first $10,000, right? Hustle, okay? And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and do a small recap, and then we'll conclude this video. So again, how I made my first $10,000, y'all. Number 1, I invested into myself, okay? For you, again, it may look like podcasts, it may look like books, it may look like YouTube University, whatever the case is, y'all. I invested into myself, and so you should too. Number 2, I mastered making $1,000 first. Remember, y'all, a drug dealer is not going to give you $20,000 worth of drugs if you can't manage $2,000 worth of drugs, all right? So I mastered making $1,000 first. Number 3, I zeroed in on the primary focus, okay? Let me say it once again, y'all. I zeroed in on the primary focus. Number 4, I figured out who had my money. So I understood my demographic and the people who bought from me or purchased from me quicker. And so number 5, I grinded like it was no tomorrow. Every day I got up, y'all, and went in front of those slutty vegans and sold my book. I had a product and people were buying it like hotcakes, all right? And so my question to you is, what is your product? What is your service? What can you sell? What can you get up every day and put in people's faces? And even if it take you 100 no's until you get that one yes that people will actually buy from you. What is that for you, okay? Answer that inside the comments, y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.